bit of snow on the ground. These are pretty big snow drifts over here. Look at some of those drifts piled up all the way against the ledge there. So I'm walking over there. So so all this is ice here. See? Ice. But as I'm walking towards the thing, towards the ledge. The drift is getting deeper and deeper. But the drift is kind of frozen. It's kind of like been sculpted right here. This looks like a sand dune right here. Like right over here. Let me turn on the flashlight. You can see this drift looks like a sand dune. This looks like a dune of sand, but it's all snow. So the drift's pretty deep right here. It's definitely like at least ankle, a little deeper than ankle. Oswego got close to 4 to 5 inches of snow. Before the drifting started, I was able to get around 4 inches of snow. Temperatures are in the mid-20s right now. But past an hour and a half, temperatures have dropped enough that the snow's starting to blow and drift around. And that's just only going a few degrees below freezing. The snow is dry and powdery enough. Once temperatures get below the mid-20s, you start getting blowing and drifting of snow. If it was around freezing, there wouldn't be much blowing and drifting, but we're below freezing now. So the wet snow is now becoming dry and powdery. So I'm heading back in my dorm now. Very cold outside. I mean, my face is starting to hurt. And even though the snow was wet earlier, right now, look how it just blows around. This is champagne powder. This is a very powdery snow. I don't think it's 27. I think we're already in the low 20s. I mean, all this is drifted snow right here. I mean, look at this. Very dry snow. I mean, it was raining 12 hours ago. 12 hours ago, it was all rain. It only transitioned to snow about 6 hours ago. Like, it transitioned to all snow around 4 or 5 p.m. is when Oswego started transitioning to all snow. Right around the 4 or 5 p.m. hour. When I arrived, there was just under an inch of snow at 6 p.m. And by that time, there was heavy snow coming down. I left Syracuse at 4:40 in the evening. It was raining mixed with snow. But by the time I got to Clay, and just north of Clay, heading towards Fulton, around Phoenix, it was all snow and the roads were becoming slushy. When I left Syracuse, it was raining. It was mixed of rain and snow, temperatures around the low to mid-30s. By the time I got to Clay, which is around the Phoenix area, Phoenix, New York, northern County, it was all snow. I saw how the raindrops were mixed with slush, like on the windshield, and then eventually it became all like slushy snowflakes. Because temperatures were like in the low 30s, so there was some melting going on the ground. But still, it was accumulating on the roads and in the cars and on the sidewalks. And when we got on I-80 just north of Phoenix, heading towards Fulton, so I-481, which becomes Route 481, the roads were becoming very snow-covered, and we had to slow down. Why were the roads becoming snow-covered, even though it was just raining a bit earlier? Is because the road temperatures were very cold. Because we had days and days and days of below freezing temperatures in the teens. Today was the first day above freezing in a while. And that's why we had all that. The roads were cold. We didn't have freezing rain, but road temperatures were cold enough that there wasn't much melting going on once temperatures were at or close to freezing. So the roads were snow was easily able to accumulate. Plus, the flakes were pretty big. There were big, wet snowflakes, but there was no rain. So it was wet snow, but the roads were cold enough that the wet snow was able to stick to the surface instead of melting. It was also coming down really hard. Now, of course, South Florida, never gets snow. I mean, rare occasions. Showing ocean effect snow for South Florida, but that didn't materialize. That model was showing temperatures in the teens for South Florida, but it was like it was too far out. Right now, temperatures are in the mid-20s. What's with the racism, Amy? So, how do black people act? You mean making informative videos? You feel empowered because Big Daddy Trump won? So you want to, be, openly racist? Or you're just like you're not needing to be? Because, Amy, I'm going to be honest with you, that sounds really racist, what you're saying. And so I'm assuming you're being racist. Maybe you're not, but what you're saying sounds racist. I mean, care to explain yourself? No? Okay. And why did you say hola in Spanish? Do I speak Spanish? Yeah. You know what? I'm tired of this shit. Anyway, I'm going back in. I'm freezing. South Florida, last time got snow was in 1977 during a cold outbreak that actually, was responsible for the Buffalo snowstorm. Actually, of 1977, the Buffalo blizzard. This wasn't just snow. It wasn't just falling snow. So you had an Arctic front that came across Buffalo over Lake Erie, which is frozen. Right now, Lake Erie is almost entirely frozen over. Reason for this is Lake Erie is very shallow. It's only 70, 80 feet deep at the deepest. So there's not much water in Lake Erie, spread out over a vast area, but it's very shallow. So Lake Erie easily freezes over in cold temperatures. Lake Ontario is completely ice-free right now, except some pack ice right around the shoreline, which only goes out maybe a few hundred feet. This is usually the time when Oswego gets a lot of lake effect snow. It's usually January is the snowiest month. But the most snow Oswego ever got in a period of time actually happened between February 3rd and 12th of 2007 from a lake effect event. Got over 80 inches of snow. 87 inches. Today's snow was not lake effect. This was from a storm system that was actually responsible for the plane crash that happened in Pennsylvania. So what happened, this is what I think happened, and what will likely be the result of the NTSB investigation. So mark my words, I am making a prediction of why the jet crashed in Philadelphia in the parking lot and how it crashed. I saw the video. It wasn't pilot error that caused the crash. The plane lost vertical control due to icing conditions. The plane went out of control because the high amount of icing likely caused the plane to lose aerodynamic lift. It was going very fast, but keep in mind what happened Colgan Air Flight in 94. Had a stall, and then the plane started dropping at a very high rate of speed and crashed on the ground, killing all aboard. The plane shattered into a million pieces. So most likely what happened was that the plane encountered heavy icing conditions and went down. There was moderate to heavy ice at altitudes between 10 and 20,000 feet. So when the plane was descending through the cloud layer, it encountered very heavy icing. That's what most likely happened. I didn't see the flight path, but considering it was raining in Philadelphia, weather was definitely a factor in this crash. Unlike the crash the other day, the other 2 nights ago, which was entirely human error on the part of the Black Hawk helicopter, this crash was likely as a result of icing conditions at altitude. Specifically, the altitude that most planes pass through when they're either taking off or descending. Sadly, no survivors. This plane was going very fast. It was out of control as it was falling, unrecoverable at a very high rate of speed. I believe that black boxes will find that the pilot lost control of the aircraft due to the lift, due to poor airflow over the wings because of icing conditions. Because ice, as it builds up, disrupts airflow and makes it very difficult to control the aircraft. That's what I believe happened. I believe that icing is to blame in this crash, and that's what the NTSB investigation will find probably in a few days once they listen to the black boxes. Anyway, thank you for watching, and good night, everybody.